Hello everyone. Today I'd like to create a simple Java web app, and I like to deploy it on Kubernetes, on the managed Kubernetes cluster on Azure, and I'm going to use Helm and Draft for this. And this web app, we are also going to expose it to an Ingress controller and make it available to the internet. So let's just start by creating an web app. We're in a folder where I can do my stuff. So in Maven you got archetypes. I will paste this command in the comments so you can use this as well. But this will create a dialog or a wizard, and in this wizard you just put the number 1 and you define a group ID. I will just call it hello world because that's what it does. So you will see it created an hello world folder, and in this hello world folder it's a plain vanilla Maven project which contains test cases and the source code for the hello world in Java. So all within Spring Boot, all generated within the default archetype. So in this stage, I don't have a Docker file yet. I'm not creating a Docker image. I'm not able to push this Docker image to the container registry, and I'm not even thinking about using Kubernetes. I just do the build command, maven clean package, and this will result in having the build file in the target folder called hello world.jar. So I've set up Draft already. Read the installation instructions on GitHub on Draft. Google for Draft and Kubernetes, and you will find the GitHub repository. But what I can do now, I just say Draft create -app, and I give it a name. Hello world. It will detect that this is a Java project, and based on that it will create for me a Docker file, a chart folder, and a draft.toml file. And so it's not perfect yet, but it saves you a lot of time. I'm going to the Docker file, and it assumed that this would be my build output. It's not, because the output is this, and it also makes assumptions on the port which are not correct as well. So, but furthermore, I got everything I need, and I just want to have this pushed to my Kubernetes cluster. So if I go to Kubernetes, there is nothing deployed yet. There are no services, only the Kubernetes service. There are no replication controllers, no replication sets, no deployments yet. What I want to do is I want this application to be deployed. So the only thing I need to do is draft up. So this will usually take, especially in the beginning, a little bit more time. Just let me pause it for you. Finished. Let me now have a look what's deployed on Kubernetes. Get deploy. It deployed the Hello World and Java app. It created not a replication control, but a replication set. It created for me the pods. Everything is up and running, and it has created for me even a service, a Hello World Java service. So what I want to do now is I want to expose this Hello World up to the outside world using an Ingress controller. So the first thing I need to do is edit this current service and change the type. I'm changing it from cluster IP to node port because I want it to be available on all the nodes. So that's done. Let me also have a look. The target port should be 8080. Then what I need to do is I need to install an Ingress controller on my Kubernetes cluster, and for that I can use the helm command, and I can just say helm install stable nginx-ingress. So, and the nice thing is when you install it, it will give you an example of an Ingress configuration, what you can use to make an Ingress configuration available. So I'm just copying this part, and I'm do the hello world ingress YAML file, pasting it here. Unfortunately, I have to delete the first two characters of this thing. I will say just hello world. This will be default. And this is interesting because this will be the point where my Ingress controller comes into play. So I will say this application will be available through hello world on the k8.datalinks.nl. The service name is hello world. Let me just double check, because this is the connection to the backend, and it says the name is hello world Java. Like this. Okay. Let me create this ingress. Create -f hello world ingress. So when I'm now looking into the configuration, I see there is a hello world k8.datalinks.nl available as an ingress controller. However, we didn't configure this part yet because we just installed with Helm the Ingress controller. So what we need to do now is have a look in on all our services. And here we see that currently we have the Ingress controller deployed, and it's now creating an Azure load balancer, and the Azure load balancer will have a public IP address. So with the -w command we can wait until this public IP address is available. So I will pause for now. I see that the public IP address has become available. Here you go. I'm just copying this public IP address, and I'm going to Cloudflare, which is my DNS provider for this domain name, like this. So what I do within the DNS configuration, I will say anything which I put in front .k8.datalinks.nl will point to my public IP address, which is a service which points to this load balancer, and this load balancer is tied to the Ingress controller deployment. So going back to the Ingress configuration, I'm saying hello world.k8.datalinks will point to my hello world app. Let me test that if it works. And it does. So let me demonstrate the power of draft. So when I want to change the code now, I'm just doing main test Java blah 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 service, and I'm changing hello beautiful coding. 1, 2, 3, and goodbye. Copying this because I need to change the test file as well now, because the expectation has been changed. Assert equals hello world entity get body. by. To be honest, let's skip this one. The only thing what I need to do now is I'm doing this command, draft up. It will do the build again. It will deploy it to the your Azure or your container registry, and then it will do a deployment on Kubernetes as well. Just let me pause for a while. So it's done, and now we should have our new release available through the Ingress. I need to have a look at that because this is of course not what you want. Hello world. That's still the same. 8080 Node point. No clue what just happened. I just refreshed it and now it works. So here you got the hello world and goodbye. So yeah, that's in a nutshell how you can use draft and helm for installing the Ingress controller and configuring it and do your development. This is not stuff you would do for releases, but it's ideal for quick development and unit tests. So of course, when you do it locally with Minikube, it will be quicker as well. So that's the end of the demo. Hope you guys liked it. Have a nice day.